When looking for a job, what is a dead giveaway? That the place and job is a hellhole to work for. Anywhere that advertises what you could earn instead of what you will earn, they're going to use you up and spit you out. This plus entry fee / investment equal pyramid scheme. Watch out. Life insurance sales for recent college grads is a huge offender here. I had an interview at an Outback in college once. About halfway through the interview, the interviewer, who owned and operated that location right by a busy highway and mall, says, "Now you realize that once you have this job, I own you. You can't take multiple days off to see family, you can't take any holidays off, and you can't go out of town." That sounded like slavery to me, so I got up and walked out. 2 of my friends now work there, and that guy was dead ducking serious about owning his employees. Duck that. I would have told the guy to duck himself on the spot who says that to people. At least he was upfront about his ashlery and didn't wait until you started. Sounds like he saved you both a headache. Anytime you are interacting with a group of people at a potential employer and the boss is talking, check out everyone else in the room. If they are looking down and trying to act like they aren't there, that's a huge red flag. The boss is either extremely dominating and won't accept any opinion from anyone that contradicts his own, or he habitually ducks up and they are perpetually embarrassed for him. A third scenario is that the boss is overly hyping something extremely mundane. I've seen managers try to hype up their employees when the job everyone is doing isn't even worthy of hype. Everyone kind of rolls their eyes because they've heard the same story every day for the past however many years and they know it's all bullshit. Manager, holy shit, guys, we are going to have 4-ply toilet paper. Employees, woo-woo-woo. Manager, even better, it's going to be in the management depth toilet. 4-ply? Are you an oil baron? Nah, those guys won't settle for anything less than 800 thread count Egyptian cotton. Whenever I go on a job interview and it's time for me to ask a question, I always sneak in a friendly way of asking, "What's the best thing about working here? And what's the worst thing?" Usually people are really honest with you, especially if their boss isn't also in the interview. Piggybacking on this, I have found that if the answer is, "I really enjoy working with the people here," that is a hint that it should at least be a manageable situation, even if the actual job sucks. Yeah, the culture makes a big difference in an organization. You can have a ton of fun if you have some like-minded people on your team, even if the job you are doing is lackluster. It's why I always ask how the corporate culture is when on an interview, so I can see what things are really like. I would shovel manure if I could do it with a bunch of people I liked. A friendly work environment makes all the difference. Can confirm, have shoveled cow manure with friends and with people I disliked. Not too bad with friends. People are surprisingly open when you ask these types of questions. Some of my go-to questions are, what sort of manager is Sue? What would you change about your job this company? And, simply enough, how would you describe the culture here? I take it a step further and ask them how often they find themselves staying at the office after quitting time or on weekends to finish a project. If the answer is anything other than almost never, be afraid. All the employees seem new to the job. This is a good one. High turnover equals shut job. Always ask what happened to the person in the position before you. Engage the look on the interviewer's face the moment the question registers in their mind. If they look pained or disgusted, take that as a very bad sign. Unfortunately, a lot of jobs that seem to come easily are because someone walked out, because it was a shut position. When the interviewer complains about their current staff, it's a concern to me. If someone is going to air their dirty laundry when you first meet them, they are almost certainly a drama queen manager. First job interview out of college, I was interviewing at a call center. The hour guy, at one point, said, "Yeah, I'm really trying to find something better and get out of this place." Wow, the people hiring you are trying to get out? That definitely sounds like the sort of place I want to be. If they tell you to start calling all your friends and then friends of your friends to sell knives, go away. Vector marketing. I went into one of their meetings because I was a naive teenager who could potentially be making 16 per hour just by selling knives. They told me to leave when I asked too many questions at the interview. When you start walking in to get an application and a guy comes running out and tearing off his uniform saying "Duck this place," True story. On my first day of a job, I got into the elevator on my way up to my desk, and a woman in the elevator turned to me, and we had this exchange. Huh, is this your first day? Me, yes, it is. I'm. Nice to meet you. Huh, get out while you still can. Unpaid training or you have to buy uniforms from them up front. I've had both happen, and I just noped the duck out of there with a smile on my face. In addition, there are stores in the mall that require that you buy an entire new wardrobe consisting only of their clothing. This repeats every season as new clothes come out. Jesus. And definitely a nightmare. How can you continue to work in some age-defining clothes store when you get older and think I'm too old for these clothes? Random buzzwords and extrapolant phrases like unique opportunity, looking for a rock star, etc. is always a red flag for me. But what if I'm trying to start an awesome rock band? That would be a black flag. The ones where they say marketing trainee in the job listings. It's code for salesperson. Yup, one supplied for media and marketing executives. Or door-to-door salesman. Could be worse, door-to-door salesman. As soon as I knock on their door, I realize they don't need one. Any kind of telesales business. A lot claim they don't have a high turnover of staff. Turns out it's a fancy way of saying, we like lying to people. I've worked in telesales. We like lying to people may as well be the full job description. When you continuously see the job advertised, you know it's bad. I don't know how employers don't see the issue and make it a better job. I mean, one more break in the day goes a huge way to making a shitty job tolerable. Oh, that one's simple. In January you hire 100 new staff members on 1-month trial contracts. Get to the end of that month and it's just not working. Release those 100. Now, if you do that every month, you get to say, this year we employed 1200 people. You neglect to mention the 1100 you released. Wow, your company is really helping the unemployed in the current climate. You can be your own boss. Okay, pyramid scheme. In one of my own experiences, when the hiring person or orientation person spends a lot of time trying to sell you on the job, that's a red flag to me. I once went for an interview where I was asked 2 questions and the rest of the job consisted of the hour guy telling me how bad and poorly paid the job was. It's really cold and wet. The work is very repetitive and intensive. Are you okay with that? Yeah. But the pay isn't great and you have to stay late most nights. Well, okay. We are probably going to have cut your testicles off and beat starve you. Is that okay? I mean, I guess. Also, the only name tag we have says Reek. What is your name? Best to check the facial expressions, body language of the people you pass. You can easily tell if a person is defeated, hate their job. Also ask your interviewer if they enjoy their job. If they hesitate in their answer, then that's an indication that it isn't the greatest place. I just left an interview and that's why I have asked this question. I asked what the company was like to work for, and the 2 interviewers looked at each other and said, the shifts are alright. I'm not even joking. My heart sank, because I really wanted that job. I applied for a job as a massage therapist. During the interview, the person doing the interview answered the phone 4 or 5 times, a different business name every time. When I got home, I called the license agency and asked about them. Turns out they were a poorly disguised front for prostitution. They had a legit massage business, which they were using to hide the fact that they also had half a dozen not so legit massage businesses. I was advised not to accept the position as they were, once again, under investigation. A month later, I saw my interviewer on the news, in handcuffs. There is a employees must wash hands sign in the bathroom, but that means all job in foods there. I see what you did there. I recently asked a potential employer, where can someone who works hard at this job be in 5 years? I meant, is there upward mobility? His answer, hopefully somewhere else. The phrase we wear a lot of hats gets used. That just means the job is not defined, and you will have no direction or ability to say no. They will try to get the most out of you before you decide to quit. So pretty much every small workplace ever. In terms of looking for a job, never pay for a search firm to conduct a job search for you. I once went into a headhunter who assured me that for the reasonable price of $5,000, he could find a job within a week. Turns out the company was one that preyed on desperate job seekers, especially new immigrants. Don't ever pay a penny to anyone offering to help find you a job. Recruiters get paid by the hiring companies, and they get paid damn well. Sometimes up to 25% of annual salary just for placement.